Okay, today we are talking about monetization. So the topic is monetize your mind, turn what you know into money. Now, this is also the title for my upcoming book. And this is one book that will change the game for so many people in their finances, in their relationships, and then in their purpose. So we're talking about monetize your mind, turn what you know into money. There's never been a time where the subject of monetization is as critical as it is today. There's never been a time that monetizing becomes very important. And then so many things have converged to make it such a golden opportunity for monetization. Please type that in the comment section. Type it on YouTube. Type it on Facebook. Type it on TikTok. So those of you joining on TikTok, type it. This is the golden age of monetization. Everybody type that, type that in the comment section. TikTok, type that. All right, so I see you all in TikTok joining. We are talking about monetize your mind, turn what you know into money. Type it in the comment section. This is the golden age of monetization. And as a matter of fact, monetization has equalized the game for every one of the 8 billion people here on earth. As you are going to see in this series, monetization is the game changer. Many of us are where we are, struggling financially, just because we have not monetized. We do not have the skills to monetize our passion, to monetize our skills, to monetize our knowledge, to turn what we know into money. And then every day, as you look online, you see so many people making lots of money, teaching things that are almost ridiculous. You see things like how to feed a horse, and someone is making $1 million teaching people how to feed a horse. You see things like how to cook. Hilda Bassi, if you've not watched the video of yesterday, please go back and watch it. It's right there on YouTube. We have over 530 videos on YouTube like this, very practical sessions that can help you. So we have this woman who is monetizing and making up to 2 billion naira in a month. 2 billion is somewhere around $1.3 million. Just monetizing her knowledge, monetizing skills. So people are actually making a lot of money monetizing. And I that speak to you, monetization actually changed my financial game. It did change my financial game. And that's why too, if you haven't watched the video on the Ezra code, the Ezra wealth code, please go and watch it. It's right there on YouTube. Watch the Ezra wealth principle, because it is from Ezra principle that you understand why monetization is very powerful, and also the elements of monetization, because there are 3 elements in the Ezra code to generating generational wealth. The first element is you've got to master, you've got to study something, whether it is making clothes, whether it is art, drawing, writing, whether it is scientific reasoning, whatever it is. You've got to study something. People are making a lot of money just studying mountains in different parts of the world. I saw a TikToker the other day who comes to Google Earth, spots some very interesting landscape anywhere in the world, old temples, Buddhist temples, mountains that have buildings that no one has been there for 50 years or something. People are exploring caves, and all the focus on is caves. They've learned so much about caves, the different caves, the geologic formation of the caves, and all that. And so people are making money, teaching all kinds of things. People are making money teaching soap making. So it all starts with something that you have some tremendous interest in. Then you begin to study. That is the Ezra principle. You study, then you practice it. You practice it, you master it. People are also teaching musical instruments online. So there's a guy that I am signing up. He's in faraway Houston. And then he teaches keyboard to play the piano online. People are monetizing their skills, monetizing what they know every single day from different parts of the world. Can you imagine teaching someone how to play piano from Houston, someone that is in a village in Nigeria, is learning how to play the piano from someone in Houston? And then there are people who are in Japan teaching people all kinds of things. There are people who are in the United States, they are teaching people in China to speak English, and they've never left the United States. So, ladies and gentlemen, type it once again in the comment section. We are in the golden age of monetization. Everyone, it is required. Type it in the comment section. It's required. We are in the golden age of monetization. In fact, I'm tempted to say you either monetize or you die. Okay, so those of you on TikTok, go ahead and type it. We are in the golden age of monetization. You are going to see as we complete this series that monetization, if you pick up the skills, it will demolish all the excuses you have for financial struggle. To be honest with you, it's monetization that is sustaining me, sustaining my business, sustaining, the things I'm doing. So monetization, and then monetization, when we say monetization these days, most people on social media think about, Facebook monetization, they think about YouTube monetization. So when we say monetization, it's much more than that. We are talking about turning what you know into money. Yeah, so publishing content on Facebook. Some people have become multimillionaires publishing their content, publishing what they know on Facebook. Some people have become multimillionaires, generating monthly income on YouTube, publishing their skills. So, ladies and gentlemen, what is your excuse? What is your excuse? We are in the golden age of monetization. Okay? And the Financial Fitness Challenge enrollment is starting next week. You do not want to miss class 5. That is cohort 5. We've run 4 cohorts. This is the 5th cohort. And this time we're going to focus on monetization. We're also going to focus on the stock market, investing in the stock market, because I'm just finding so many loopholes, so many gaps. Why many of us are struggling financially unnecessarily. You are in your 30s, you are in your 40s. You do not have a single portfolio in the financial market, in the stock market, in the money market, in mutual funds, in bonds, and you are 40-something years old. How in the world have you been surviving? And I'm shocked. I meet people in their 50s who know nothing about stock market. All they know about the stock market is, oh, I put in such and such amount of money 25 years ago and I lost it. Stock market. My, oh my. Anyway, so during the Financial Fitness Challenge, we're going to deal with monetization. We are going to deal with the stock market. You need to start playing in the financial market, not just in the labor market. And it all ties together because we are in the golden age of monetization. There's no more excuse for financial struggle because every one of you here knows something that you can teach. My goodness, there's all kinds of ridiculous things you find people monetizing on the internet. Ridiculous things. People are monetizing how to do your nails. People are monetizing how to weave hair. And then even a teenager, a 19-year-old, who a rebellious teenager who ran away from home in the US, I think she's somewhere in Grenada. I don't know. Some of you may have seen her videos on TikTok. And this girl is 19 years. She's just monetizing her crazy stories of her childhood. And thousands of people are watching, commenting, and she's being paid, by TikTok doing that. What's your excuse? So let me start by clearing these excuses, okay? So for those of you who want to join the Zoom, you can actually get on Zoom or get on YouTube so that you can see what I'm sharing on the screen. So why is your expertise not paying off? Like, everyone knows something. You know something. You know how to cut nails. And I can guarantee you that out of 8 billion people in the world, you will find at least 100,000 people who want to learn how to cut nails without hurting themselves, as ridiculous as it sounds. So everyone here can be monetized. And from today, I want every developer of university curriculum who listens to this, if you watch it, if you're watching it on YouTube or you're seeing it later, I urge you to put monetization in your university curriculum. That's the most important thing for people to learn in this age and this generation. Because of what use is that degree? People come back home, you know, with all that degree, the things that they learn in the university, and they stay home for 5 years, 10 years, because they don't know how to monetize their knowledge or their skills or their passion. And so all they know is to wait for someone to employ them. So they send CVs all around the place for someone to employ them. That is the old way. That is the old way. You want to monetize. Okay? So in today's rapidly evolving world, we are constantly told that our unique skills, our passions, and our knowledge are invaluable assets. Type in the comment section, I have invaluable assets that I am yet to discover. You're carrying assets, your passion, your knowledge. As a matter of fact, like I said in my book, if you haven't seen it, please head on to Seller, SELAR.co, and buy my book called Financial Freedom for Every Busy Professional. So it's filled with lots of insights and practical exercises for professionals. For professionals, because a lot of people are working, but they are poor. So you kind of have what you call worker poverty on the rise. You know, you're working and you keep working, but then there's nothing. So, and there's an exercise there that allows you to be able to encapsulate your invaluable asset. But then what I shared in the book, one particular quote I want you to take home today is that every single human being is born capitalized. Is because there are people who will yet be born. Was because you and I are already born. So you can say every human being is born capitalized. Type in the chat and comment section. I was born capitalized. Everyone type it. TikTok, I want to see it. YouTube, I want to see that. Okay, Facebook, I want to see that. Very good. So Queen Abini, I can see, yeah, I have invaluable assets I'm yet to discover. Fantastic. Yes, I see that. Queen, that's on TikTok. Okay. All right. And then K Mute on TikTok also says, we are in the golden age of monetization. Fantastic. Okay. Bola de Bond also type that. So type it right now. Okay. I have invaluable assets. Okay. And not just that you have invaluable asset, you are an invaluable asset, because that's actually the basis of monetization. The basis of monetization is your identity, your personal brand, because ultimately you're monetizing your brand. And guess what? You are the only one that has no competition. There's no product, no service, no course you create or book you write today that someone hasn't written about, or that they can't copy or they can't duplicate. Have you started something that felt original, but then just weeks after you discover that people are copying it? If it has happened to you, just say, yes, I have. You've started something, And then all of a sudden, in a short time, everybody in your neighborhood started copying it. People in your office started copying it. If it has happened to you, say yes. Yes, it's happened to me, or just say yes. You know, you have no idea how many people copy my posts and do not give me the credit. They just copy it. They copy my posts. They copy my quotes every single time, and they post it as their own. They remove my name. It happens every single day. In fact, I used to write, I still do, at least one Monday in the month. I write my Monday morning meditations, fantastic meditations, great articles. I mean, those articles are so valuable, so enlightening that people from different parts of the world. I remember a lady from South Africa asked for permission to print it out and use it in their organization. She sent me a request, that they wanted to use my article as a study guide for their whole organization, for the company. And I said, yes, go ahead and use it. So she was even one who bothered to contact me. But there's so many people who took the same article, removed my name, and put their name as their own article. Has it happened to you? Has it happened to anybody? TikTok? Has it happened to anybody there? Okay. Facebook, has it happened to you? Right. De Nkwambaru says, yeah, it has happened. Okay. Yeah, it happens all the time. Now, but this is good news. And that is one fundamental insight I want you to go home with today. Anybody can copy you. They can copy what you have done. They can copy what you've written. They can copy your product, but nobody can copy your style. Nobody can copy your identity. That is something that they cannot copy. So you see, people can copy my content and then make it their own, but they cannot copy me. They cannot copy my style of writing. In fact, one happened once. I wrote an article, very, very life-changing article on something about waste. I think the title, you might still find it online if you search for it. No wanting, no wasting. No wanting, no wasting. And it was so incredibly life-changing. People were copying it. Somebody copied it and removed my name and put it as his own name. And this guy was even a clergy person. A clergy person. So the classic case of not all who call me Lord, Lord, or who answer the title, pastor, reverend. Yeah, not all of them know what they're talking, know God. And so somebody saw it and said, this writing style is Ogbo Awoke Obo's writing style. This is his writing style. And he came to me. The guy is now a professor. So he contacted me and said, is this not your article that somebody, copied? And so he gave me the link and I went there. True and true. It was my article. So you see, nobody can copy your style. So even when people copy it, if other people see it who know your style, they say, this one is definitely Ogbo Awoke Obo's writing. And so this gives you such a very powerful pillar for monetization, that the only thing people cannot copy is you, your personal brand, the way you talk. And that's why you should not try to copy other people. That's why you need to develop your unique brand. So anywhere on the planet today, anywhere on the planet, you hear anybody say, keep showing up, for you never know what's going to come your way next. Who does he remind you of? Yeah. Who does he remind you of? Nobody can copy that. Once you say it is, this guy is copying Obo. And then most mornings when I jog, I produce content, I talk. And then one popular guy, big guy, far bigger than myself, started doing that. It was funny. So he started doing, while he's on the treadmill, he's talking and things like that. It was shocking. And then somebody, not one person, several people who saw him on LinkedIn, they sent me a message. They said, oh boy. And then they called that guy's name, say, he has started doing like him. So do you get what I'm saying? So that gives you incredible high barrier of entry. Every other thing you do, products, whatever, they have low barrier of entry. But you have the highest barrier of entry. Nobody can copy you. That is why monetization is so powerful. That's why monetization is something that you want to give attention to, okay? So you have invaluable asset and you are an invaluable asset. So that is even more important, okay? So you are an invaluable asset. That is number one. And number two, you have invaluable asset. So type that in the comment section to remind you. All right? So you can transform what you know into a lucrative income stream. You can achieve financial freedom from turning what you know into money, and you can live life on your own terms. There's a gentleman, some of you probably know Wode Maya. He's a Ghanaian content producer. It's monetization that made the guy. So today he's filming in Grenada. So he spends a couple of days in Grenada. The next day you see him in Botswana. How many of you know Wode Maya? The next day you see him in South Africa. I just saw him, a couple of days ago. He was in Grenada. And then the next morning I woke up and his video came into my feed. And guess where he is right now? Somewhere in South Africa. The other time he was in Botswana. At another time he was in Guyana. Another time he was in Suriname. Just traveling around the whole world, filming, living his life, just enjoying his life. Do you know what made it possible? Monetization. And then I see that the guy also has hectares of farm. He also is into real estate. So because the powerful thing about monetization is that it builds upon itself, because monetization gives you liquidity. Wow. Everybody pause and type that. Pause and type that. Monetization gives you liquidity. Okay. People on Zoom, I'm not seeing much activity here. All right. Type it in the comment section. Monetization gives you liquidity. Okay. Amazing. Monetization gives you liquidity. What does that mean? The biggest excuse, the biggest barrier to 99% of human beings on earth is capital barrier. Capital barrier. That's the biggest barrier for most human beings on earth. Capital barrier. A lot of people have been held back by capital barrier for as long as 20 years, 30 years. They can't move forward with their lives because they do not have money to fund their lifestyle. They do not have money to move forward. How many times? Maybe it has even happened to you. Do you meet someone who says, oh, I want to start this and this business, such and such a business, but I don't have the capital? I guarantee that everybody here has heard that before, or you have even been the person giving that excuse. Maybe there's somebody here saying, I wanted to start this business, or I want to travel to America, I want to relocate, but I don't have the capital. Have you heard that before? Anybody heard that before? Yeah, capital barrier. But one of the surest ways to break your capital barrier is monetization. So, and then monetization does not just provide you liquidity. It provides you such excess liquidity that you're able to, it enables you to do other things, to move your life forward, to live dreams that you've only dreamt and then never been able to do it. So I watched that young man, Wode Maya. I'm suspecting he's only in his early 30s, maybe 33, 34, 35 max or something. But the guy is he's already made. I mean, he has real estate. He has estates. What gave him the money to do the estates? Monetization, YouTube money, Facebook money. I heard him in an interview say that Some of them, he didn't want to mention his money, but he just said something like $50,000 every month. Do you know what $50,000 every month can do for all of you on this call and also for me? So monetization is highly liquid. Do you know what $50,000 every month? Every month. And he was being modest. And then, of course, some of you also know some content producers, like some of these comedians in Nigeria, whom we are told earn as much as $4 million in 1 year from YouTube, from that one channel alone. And then the other day we read in the papers how a popular prayer pastor, who does morning programs, how he earned 7.5 billion naira paid, for his online, because people attend his prayer programs, and then literally millions of people, and he's paid for that. He's paid, for monetizing, for turning what he knows into money. Okay, so monetization is, it provides incredible liquidity. Yet, for so many people, monetization is only a dream. It's only something that they hear about. So this is why in this and the upcoming series, I'm going to demystify monetization. Everybody should be monetized. Everybody should be monetized in one way or the other. Okay, and I'm not just talking about producing content. You are going to see that monetization is far much more than that. Now, the digital age has opened unprecedented avenues for literally any individual from anywhere in the world to share and profit from their knowledge. All right, and I've already shared with you so many success stories of people turning their hobbies into thriving businesses, creating online courses that generate passive income, writing ebooks that become top bestseller list. I hired a coach. She's Nigerian and she's very popular on Facebook. She runs a program on bookkeeping about 4 times or so in a year, and she's incredibly successful. So I called her up and I said, how much is a session? I need you to teach me what you do. How much is a session? How much are your sessions? So she gave me how much she charges for a session. And then I said, send me your bank account. She sent me her bank account. And then I paid for a couple of sessions, with her. I paid for a couple of sessions with her. I think I saw her post the other day. Each session is now, I think she charges about $500,000 for a session of about 90 minutes or 75 minutes or something like that. I paid for her sessions, and it was worth every minute of it. Now, what she now showed me, because this is why you pay for coaching. This is why I guarantee you, there's a level of wealth you can never achieve until you pay someone who has actually done that thing you are trying to do. I'm never without a coach myself. I hire coaches, some of them, some coaching programs have paid $10,000. For some of you who know Billie Jean is marketing, based in San Diego, I paid $10,000 for his program. I paid $5,000 for Dean Jackson. I paid $20,000 a couple of years ago for 1 year. Each year is $10,000 for 2 years to one internet marketing company. And then what she showed me, because why you pay for that is that there are many things you can never get from social media posts. Yeah, we give you all these things free, but there are levels that you can't get free. No, there are levels. Then the other thing is what paying a coach communicates. Many times I've paid for things that I really didn't get the value from. There's a gentleman I paid for. He charges $95 a month to teach something about, content marketing. He comes on TikTok. I found him on TikTok Live, and I paid for the whole year. I haven't found value in it. But you see, many people miss the point. It's not that you don't find value, but what actually happens is that you're communicating abundance by paying for knowledge, even if you don't get value, as it were, physically from it. You have communicated, to your mind, to your spirit, to your subconscious, mind, that you are abundant. You are someone ready to learn, to absorb. So you may not learn from that particular thing, but around it, you've paid for knowledge. And the secret is there's no time you pay for knowledge that you don't get back knowledge, either from the person you paid or from somewhere, because once you pay for value, you always get value somehow or the other. And then you look behind me, you see all these books. I bought them. I chose these books one after the other because every time I travel to the United States, as soon as I'm landing in a city, the first thing I look, even before going to sleep or sleeping off jet lag, the first thing I look, my family will tell you, first thing I look for is used bookstores. I just go online and say used bookstores in Cary, North Carolina, used bookstores in Houston. And then it comes like used bookstores in Colorado, in Denver. Then I look at the one that's closest to me and I spend time there. Most of these books, I bought them from the US. I open them. So what I usually do, I will go there and sit down. Maybe they open at 9 a.m. many times, and then usually you always find places to get a bite, to eat something, or I go with nuts. So I sit down, I'm looking through because if you've been to a used bookstore before, you will see that many times they are not really as organized as a proper bookstore. So you have to do a lot of searching to find gold. So sometimes I've found books written in 1700s, like Benjamin Franklin's book that's right here, The Way of Wealth, written in 1750 something. It was from used bookstore that I find those rare books. Some of these books you see here. Now, not all of them has given me all the knowledge that I require to function, to be as good as I'm working on being every day. So maybe the Pareto principle, you might just say that 10% of the books have actually given me incredible knowledge. But guess what? You can never pay for a book, pay for a coaching, pay for a workshop, pay for something and not gain it 10 times back. Okay? So, we were talking about, I was talking about how I paid this lady. And she showed me, because she cannot come online and show everybody the back end of her money. This woman is making money some months, and she showed me her back end, and I saw all the receipts, and then she showed me her ebooks that she has online, books and courses, so 3,000 naira, something, and every single day she's making hundreds of thousands. You see 600 and something thousand, 1 point something million, and just passively a day. She showed me. She also gave me contact of the people who built her, the person who built her backend. It didn't quite work out getting that guy because he's good and he's so busy. So a couple of times I reached out to him, he didn't, whatever. But I'm just telling you the power of coaching and the power of paying for knowledge, okay? So there are success stories of people doing that. Okay, so this is where we are going to end today. I'll just share something about the harsh reality of the challenges that people have in embarking on the journey of monetization, okay? And what I actually want to do before going there, all right? Since it's a coaching session, so before going there, I want you to tell me, everyone, Zoom, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, tell me what are the challenges that you face in monetizing your skill, in monetizing your knowledge and your passion. What are the challenges that you face? Okay, talk to me, everybody. Type, TikTok, come alive. What are the challenges? When you think about monetizing, what is the block? What's the mental block? What is the challenge? What is the problem, the frustration that you encounter? Okay. So Facebook, Zoom, okay, and TikTok. Now, if you want to come on the video, I know I can do that on TikTok. I've not figured out how to invite people on Facebook to come on video. But here on TikTok, if you have a question and then you want to come on video, to turn on your video and join the call, all right, just indicate and then I will invite you to do that. So if you want to talk or to ask question, just indicate and then I will bring you on video. All right. So what are the obstacles? What are the challenges you face when it comes to monetization? All right. I haven't seen anything yet. Okay. All right. Okay. I've seen one. Come on, Facebook. What are the challenges? What is the problem? What are the challenges you face when it comes to monetization? TikTok. All right. So, Njideka says, my challenge is how to speak well. I don't know how to use media very well. Thank you so much. It's not just your challenge, Njideka. It's everybody's, including me. We usually start, and I'm going to solve that problem. I'm going to help you solve that problem. You know, in fact, I'm going to talk about it once I finish taking the questions. But I want you to know that all of us start being unsure of ourselves, including me. I didn't start like this, this confident, where I'm talking to the world simultaneously on YouTube, on Zoom, on TikTok, on Facebook. I have not always been this savvy. I have not always been this confident. So we started somewhere. So you are okay. It's not a problem. We can deal with that. Okay, Ziwa says, I lack editing knowledge and my high demanding job leaves me with no extra time. Very, very true, Ziwa. So a lot of people have the challenge of finding the time from their work schedule to be able to work on monetization. But I'm also going to tell you what to do. Okay. Helen says, Facebook don't monetize Nigeria. Yeah, they have. They have, Helen. So we can talk about that later. They have, I think there's a minimum requirement of 5,000 followers or something like that. But yeah, people are making money from Facebook. I also make some money from Facebook monthly. Okay. Zuka said something. I missed it. Kingsley saying not knowing exactly what to monetize. Okay, we will also solve that problem. That's very true. So what do you even start monetizing? Tapa says organizing the knowledge to make it attractive and sellable. All right, very good, very good. I'm talking to the right audience. So we'll be able to do that. Charles Mbass says the fear to start. Yes, the fear to start is also very, very real. Daniel Era on TikTok says, want to study cybersecurity, but no opportunity. Okay, the opportunity is there. You just look for it. Because these days, there's literally nothing you want to learn that you cannot find videos for free on YouTube, to learn. There's literally nothing you can't learn. So the opportunities are there. And I know a couple of times I have seen cybersecurity, like some kind of training that's like low ticket. You can pay to attend. So the opportunities are there. Okay, Zuka says, having so many ideas, but not able to narrow it down to one. Very true. Okay, so I'm also going to show you in the course of this conversation how to narrow it, because it really has to be something that is very, very specific something like I'm telling you, people are making money just teaching other people how to cure their nails. And I know a young woman who has become a multi-millionaire because she had this is it acne that is called, and all these patches on her face and whatever, that sometimes you find teenagers have on their faces. So if you know what I'm talking about, just tell me what is. I don't think it's acne, but you have all these patches in the skin and things like that. So she tried all kinds of medications. She also went to dermatologists for years. They couldn't fix it. And then she discovered something by herself. She made something. In fact, this story is so typical because as I'm talking about it now, I remember there's another person who did exactly the same thing. She's in Lagos. She found a solution for her skin that does not exist. And she's making a hell of money now, monetizing that experience, monetizing that knowledge. So it's got to be something very specific, very, very specific that people actually, are dealing with. So you don't want it to be something general. You'll be amazed, something very, very touchable, like, how to change the covers of your bed, whatever, how to recycle duvet or something. All kinds of things. I mean, it's just got to be something. It doesn't. So the amazing thing is, these things are usually things that you look at and then they appear ridiculous. How to walk your dog. The guy is making millions of dollars a year just teaching people how to walk a dog online, how to play the trumpet. So it's got to be something very, very specific. So we're going to do exercise that will help you to get that. Okay. So let me summarize the challenges. So there is number one, overwhelm and confusion. So there are plethora of platforms, of tools and strategies. It can be paralyzing for people who want to start because it's like, where do you start? Which path is right for you? So the overwhelm and confusion. The second challenge and harsh reality is self-doubt, like Njide mentioned. So people, and it happened to me, the questions that plague your mind, is my knowledge valuable enough? Has it happened to anybody? Yeah, you're asking, is what I know valuable enough? In fact, that is the biggest challenge for many people, the biggest obstacle. Then the second biggest question people start that, create self-doubt is, why would anyone pay for what I know? Don't other people already know it and people are already doing it? Why would they pay me in particular? So that self-doubt can be challenging. But guess what? There is a midwife. I think that's what they are called. That there's a nurse that is on Facebook. I forget her name. She basically, some of you, please, if you've ever seen her video or seen her content, you can tell me. I think whether it's Nurse Vero or something like that. So many women go to give birth in her clinic because she just has this very unique style of helping women put to bed. So she makes them dance and twerk, and she's really very good at it. And she's so friendly with these women. She makes giving birth a pleasure. So if you go to her page, you will see many people. Some people are in Europe. They say, Nurse Vero. I don't know if it's Vero, but if you know her name, please type it. If anybody has actually seen this nurse, very beautiful setup. And then women go there, she makes them dance. And then as they are dancing, the baby comes, and she's really very friendly and very professional. And then she follows up with the babies that were born. And then, the women come to give thanks. And then they are saying, they say congratulations to me and things like that. It's just amazing. And people all over the world want to come to Nigeria to give birth because of that woman. She's really very popular. I don't know if anybody has seen her. So it's just incredible, because you might be a nurse and it's like, what in the world can somebody pay me for what I know? All right. So that self-doubt is a big problem. We second guess ourselves. And then you have to deal with that self-doubt in order to move forward. Then the other one is fear of rejection. Okay, the internet is vast, it's often an impersonal space because, oh my goodness. So those of you who have followed me for a while, you see sometimes how very, very toxic, very hateful that trolls can be. They're coming from nowhere, people who have no idea. It's also bad on TikTok. Those of you on TikTok, you see the kind of comments. People, little children who have no idea where I have been. They have no idea what experiences I've had. They come there, they abuse me. I'm older than their father. They write something, all kinds of toxic things there. So because of it, people are afraid, to come because the internet is so impersonal and it can be very brutal. So you go to Twitter and see what people are doing to themselves, especially in Nigeria. So they have a particular term for it. They call it violence, And so because of it, people are afraid, oh, if I put up something online, people will judge me. They will reject me. And then, of course, if you've been following me, you can see how totally unbothered I am about other people's opinion. I put it out there because, I just put it out there. I'm honoring my own spirit. I'm honoring my identity when I post those things there. And I just don't put it there. So I don't post for people to like, which is something, if you want to be a content creator, which is something don't post for people to like. As a matter of fact, I post to drive away people. So that at the end of it, the only people who are following me are people who are actually serious, who are actually getting the vibes, the flow of what. But if I just post there, I have things I'm going to post to make you like me. So nobody likes it when I post and I talk about how, how the kingdom of darkness has taken over the church and the atrocities your men of God, apostle this, apostle that, the atrocities that they are doing, and how these people are working directly for Satan, for the enemy, in the name of apostle, in the name of whatever, teaching heresies, horrible things. People don't like me to say that because these are your favorite men of God. But guess what? I say it all the same. I say it all the same because the best way to confront your fears is, the best way to deal with your fear is to confront your fear. If you have something to say it. People will judge you and they are free to judge you. And they can be so brutal, very brutal. So I understand why people fear rejection. I once shared a post that went surprisingly, extraordinarily viral. I wasn't sure what happened, but people just loved it. I think as of today, it probably has had like 4 million views or something like that from people around the world. I shared what my father told me as I was leaving the house, for secondary school for Okigwe, and my father drew me into his room and said, my son, I was a teenager, little boy. And then he said, my son, if you want to grow to become a great man on earth, there are 3 things I want you to avoid. There are 3 things you must avoid. The man said, number 1, women. Yeah, of course, if a father is talking to the son, you know what he's talking about. And then number 2, he says, avoid wine, alcohol. And then number 3, he said, avoid smoking, drugs, anything, substance that will be addicting. And guess what? Shockingly, that was when I knew that sometimes, I don't know how God copes with humanity. So people came, oh, this man is gay. He is gay. He's gay because, now these words are filtered on social media. It's shocking the world we're living in. So they came all over the place. Oh, he's gay, bro. He's gay and all that. Because I said that my father said I should avoid women. They concluded that I was. That was so bitter. That was so toxic. That if I wasn't an emotionally stable person, it could have taken me out. Because that's like the worst thing. But people have called me horrible things, but that was the worst of the worst. So because of you, people are so don't be afraid of rejection. The truth is, if you do what you're supposed to do, people will judge you. If you don't do what you're supposed to do, people will judge you. So why don't you go ahead and do that? So all those things people write, so sometimes I decide to because Solomon said, do not answer a fool according to his folly, lest you become like him. But in the same sentence, he said, answer a fool according to his folly, lest he thinks that he's wise. So there are times I face these toxic people, these toxic comments, and I give it to them. You have the right to give it back to them. Some of them are right stupid. And then, so if you don't answer, so sometimes I read all those toxic things, I ignore them. But sometimes I come out, and then you discover that those haters and bullies, when you turn back and give them their own coin, all of a sudden they become victim. Then they start saying, see, you are not supposed to talk like this on social media. You are an influencer. Didn't you know I was a leader, an influencer, before you wrote that nonsense on my whatever? Are you getting my point? You got to be tough-minded. Okay? You got to be tough-minded. Yes, Zuka. He said, either way, you will be judged. So by all means, be yourself. I'm being myself. I can never say I'm not going to, you can't gag me. And then I want to talk about politics. Hey, don't talk about politics. You're a business coach. You remain in business. What? Since when? Anyway. And then the other one is technical hurdles. So not everyone is tech savvy. The learning curve associated with creating digital products, it can be intimidating, which is why I am encouraging you strongly to join the Financial Fitness Challenge, where we can actually take time. You know, there is an amazing man, you know, he knows so much. He's so good he's retired, but this guy is so good and so experienced that I see him making in 1 year from his wealth of knowledge what he made throughout his career as a civil servant. But guess what? He can't build a website. He can't even come online. He finds it challenging, you know, to use laptop, to type, to do things like that. So sometimes technical hurdles, you know, can scare us, you know, from monetization, but I'm going to demolish all of them. Okay. And then finally, there's time constraint, like Ziwa mentioned. So balancing existing responsibilities, you're probably on full-time job, full-time house, you say housewife, they call you people, the homekeeper, homemaker, and then some other commitment. So it makes it very difficult to it makes it difficult for you to find the time to do that. But the course of in days to come, you are going to find the incredible inspiration to be able to monetize, Okay, so what we're going to do now, we are going to take your aha moments. Remember, that is our requirement. So those of you on TikTok, those of you on Facebook, those of you here on Zoom, what were your aha moments today? That's our ritual. We always do it. So type it in the comment section, type it in the chat, type it in TikTok. What was your aha moment? What was the eye opener for you today? What was it that made you say, aha? What is something that shifted in your life today as a result of this session? What shifted in your life today? Type it. Okay, type it, everyone. And I'm going to take some time to read some of this. Hey, Chioma is here. Hey, Chioma. Henry Lemma is here. Angoli. Okay. Pamela David. Oludaye David. Oh, yeah, Temitopo. Fantastic. Okay. Matilda Chembeard. Matilda, good to have you. All right. What was your aha moment, everybody? What was your aha moment today? All right. And these aha moments are usually very important because that's a very good way, you know, to kind of seal the insights that you have gotten. Okay. Ziwa asked the question here. What can you do if you have several business ideas, which might be amazing, but you want to venture in? Something is missing there. This will be a big time challenge. All right. Yeah, if you have so many, you need to look at your criteria. Don't start with the businesses. Start with your purpose, your vision. What exactly are you trying to accomplish? What do you want to do with your life? So that will determine like what you should start the very first. You might eventually do all of them, but you need to start with one. So what do you want to do with your life? who do you want to create value for? Is this business going to turn itself around and become profitable in 5 years, 7, 10 years, or in the next 2, 3 years? You know, how quickly are you going to turn profit? Otherwise, if it's going to be long term, do you have enough cash to keep the business running until it turns profitable? Where do you have the biggest demand? Because at the end of it, if you build a business and then you can't make sales, then you are not going to. So start with, what exactly is it that I want to accomplish? Number one. Number two, what are my strengths? What's my biggest strengths? What's my biggest strengths, my biggest passions? And then number three, what do people demand right now that I can give to them? Okay, because ultimately the business should be pulled by a specific demand. I hope that helps. All right, and then your aha moment is that monetizing my skill can be a source of liquidity. I'm sure you wanted to say liquidity, not liability. Njideka says, my aha moment, monetization gives me incredible liquidity. Also, I have invaluable assets. Fantastic. Thank you, sir. Following or listening to you, never a boring moment. I will keep showing up. Excellent, Njide. I'm so proud of you. You are definitely one of those 1,000 people. Okay, Finian says, my aha moment is monetization gives you liquidity. Fantastic. All right, Charles Mba says, either way, you will be judged. So go ahead and do it. Yeah, as you can see, people are judging me left, right, and center. But I'm going ahead to do it because they didn't send me. They didn't create me. They didn't send me. They are not my Lord and my Savior. All right. Chikaro says, I am invaluable. Absolutely, Chikaro. And I've been watching some of your videos. You are amazing. You are amazing. So hopefully in the course of the monetization, you will learn how to monetize a little bit more effectively so they can capture more value from the amazing things that you're doing. Your wisdom is great, and the things you share are they're very, very rare and good for this audience. Kingsley Dubese says, aha moment, monetization gives you liquidity. Awesome. All right. It's on that note that we are going to round off tonight. And then we are going to continue with monetization tomorrow, same time, same Zoom link. And so whatever happens, be encouraged. Don't worry your life. The future is far much better than your present, and your future is brighter. You have a bigger future, and I'm going to be sharing with you how to make your future bigger than your past. Whatever happens, keep showing up because you never know what's coming your way next. And I'll see you same time tomorrow. Good night.